my 32nd birthday, my wife told me she had forgotten and went out with her friends. I checked her location, and my heart almost stopped when I saw she was headed to a hotel. I drove straight to the same hotel, sent a cake to her room, and added a card, one that was enough to turn her whole world upside down. And 5 minutes later, something happened that she never saw coming. I'm 32 years old, and until 3 months ago, I thought I had a pretty good life. Married for 6 years to my wife Lauren, homeowner, stable career in logistics management, and genuinely believed I was building something that would last. We didn't have kids yet. Lauren kept saying she wasn't ready, and I respected that. I figured we had time. Looking back now, I can see all the signs I missed. The late nights at work that started about a year ago. The new gym membership she insisted on getting at a facility across town instead of the one 5 minutes from our house. The way she started sleeping with her phone under her pillow instead of on the nightstand. I noticed these things, but I explained them away. That's what you do when you love someone. You give them the benefit of the doubt until the doubt becomes impossible to ignore. My birthday fell on a Thursday this year, March 14th. I'd been looking forward to it in a quiet way, nothing extravagant, just hoping Lauren and I could have a nice dinner together, maybe watch a movie at home. I even mentioned it to her the week before. Hey, my birthday's coming up Thursday. Want to make reservations somewhere? Or should I cook? She was scrolling through her phone when I asked, barely looking up. Oh yeah? Thursday. Let's play it by ear. Play it by ear. That should have been my first clue. Thursday morning arrived, and I woke up to an empty bed. Lauren had already left for work, which wasn't unusual, but there was no birthday note, no card on the kitchen counter, nothing. I checked my phone, no text from her either. I told myself she was probably planning something for later. A surprise, maybe. I went to work, got the usual birthday wishes from coworkers, even got taken out to lunch by my team. It was nice. Normal. I kept checking my phone throughout the day, waiting for something from Lauren. A text. A call. Anything. At 4:47 p.m., I finally got a message from her. Hey, completely forgot, but I promised the girls I'd go out tonight. Dinner and drinks. Don't wait up. I read that message about 15 times. Completely forgot. My birthday. 6 years of marriage. And she completely forgot my birthday because she had plans with the girls. I typed out several responses, deleted them all, and finally just sent. Okay. Have fun. She didn't even respond to that. I drove home feeling something between hurt and confused. When I got there, the house was dark and empty. No decorations, no cake, no evidence that anyone remembered what day it was. I sat on the couch for about an hour, just staring at the wall, trying to figure out what was happening to my marriage. That's when I remembered the location sharing. Lauren and I had set up location sharing on our phones about 2 years ago, after she got a flat tire on a rural road and had trouble describing where she was to the tow truck. It was a safety thing. We both agreed to it. And honestly, I'd never really used it to check on her before. It felt invasive. But sitting alone in my dark house on my birthday, I pulled up the app. The blue dot showing Lauren's location wasn't at any restaurant I recognized. It wasn't at a bar. It was moving along the highway, heading toward the business district downtown. I watched it for a few minutes, trying to figure out where she could possibly be going. Then the dot stopped. At the Meridian Grand Hotel. I felt my stomach drop. I refreshed the app, thinking maybe it was a glitch. But the dot stayed right there, at the hotel, for 5 minutes. 10 minutes. 15. I grabbed my keys. Update 1. The drive to the Meridian Grand took about 25 minutes, and I spent every second of it trying to convince myself there was an innocent explanation. Maybe one of her friends was staying at the hotel. Maybe they were having drinks at the hotel bar. Maybe this was all a big misunderstanding, and I was about to feel very stupid. But somewhere deep down I knew. You don't forget your husband's birthday and go to a hotel unless something is very, very wrong. I parked in the garage across the street and sat in my car for a few minutes, watching the hotel entrance. I wasn't sure what I was waiting for. Courage, maybe. Or some sign that I should just turn around and go home. My phone buzzed. A text from my buddy Derek. Happy birthday, man. Hope Lauren's treating you right tonight. That was the push I needed. I walked into the hotel lobby, trying to look casual. It was a nice place. Marble floors, crystal chandeliers, the kind of hotel that charges $300 a night for a standard room. Not the kind of place Lauren would be for a casual girls' night out. I approached the front desk with a plan already forming in my head. Hi there, I said to the young woman behind the counter. I'm hoping you can help me. I'd like to send a cake and a card to one of your guests as a surprise. She smiled. Of course, sir. We can arrange that through our concierge service. Do you have the guest's name and room number? Her name is Lauren Mitchell. I'm not sure of the room number. I'm her husband, and I wanted to surprise her. Something flickered across the receptionist's face. Just for a second. Let me check on that for you. She typed something into her computer, and I watched her expression carefully. When she looked back up at me, there was a hint of discomfort in her smile. I see Mrs. Mitchell checked in about 45 minutes ago. Room 847. Would you like me to arrange for the cake delivery? Checked in. Not visiting. Checked in. Yes, please, I said, keeping my voice steady. Do you have a selection of cakes available? We do. Small celebration cakes from our kitchen. Chocolate, vanilla, or red velvet. Chocolate. And I'd like to include a card. She handed me a small envelope and a blank card with the hotel's logo on it. Take your time. I'll have the cake prepared. I stepped away from the desk and found a quiet corner of the lobby. My hands were shaking as I opened the card. What do you write to your wife when you've just discovered she's at a hotel on your birthday, presumably with someone else? I thought about it for a long moment. Then I wrote, Happy birthday to me. I know about everything. Don't bother coming home tonight. Or ever. My lawyer will be in touch. Your husband. I sealed the envelope and brought it back to the front desk. The receptionist took it with a professional smile. I'll have this delivered to room 847 right away, sir. Is there anything else? Actually, yes. Is there a place I can wait where I can see the elevators? She hesitated. The bar has a good view of the lobby, sir. Perfect. I found a seat at the bar with a clear sight line to the elevators and ordered a whiskey. My birthday whiskey, I thought bitterly. I checked my phone. It was 7:23 p.m. The cake would be delivered any minute. I didn't have to wait long. Update 2 at exactly 7:31 p.m. I saw Lauren burst out of the elevator. She was wearing a dress I'd never seen before. Tight, red, the kind of thing she never wore for me anymore. Her face was pale, her phone clutched in her hand, and she was looking around the lobby frantically. Then she saw me. I've never seen someone's expression change so dramatically in my entire life. She went from panic to shock to terrified in the span of about 3 seconds. She started walking toward me, then stopped, then started again. David, she said when she reached me. What are you? How did you? Location sharing, I said calmly. Remember? The thing we set up after your flat tire? Her mouth opened and closed. I can explain. Can you? Because I'd love to hear the explanation for why my wife forgot my birthday to check into a hotel room. Alone, presumably? She didn't answer, which was answer enough. Who is he? David, please, can we talk about this somewhere private? Who is he? The bartender was pretending not to listen. A couple at a nearby table had definitely stopped their conversation to watch us. I didn't care. Lauren's eyes welled up with tears. His name is Connor. He's someone I met at the gym. The gym. The gym across town that she insisted on joining a year ago. How long? David, how long, Lauren? She looked at the floor. 8 months. 8 months. 8 months of lies. 8 months of fake work emergencies and girls' nights, and sleeping with her phone under her pillow. 8 months of me being a complete fool. Is he up there right now? In room 847. She nodded, still not meeting my eyes. Good. Then you can go back up there and tell him he can have you. Because we're done. I stood up, pulled out my wallet, and left enough cash on the bar to cover my drink and a generous tip. Lauren grabbed my arm. David, please. It was a mistake. I never meant for it to go this far. I love you. I looked at her hand on my arm, then at her face. You forgot my birthday, Lauren. Not because you were busy or distracted, but because you were too excited about spending it with someone else to even remember I existed. That's not a mistake. That's a choice. I pulled my arm away and walked toward the exit. David, wait. I didn't wait. I didn't look back. Update 3. The next few days were a blur of logistics and emotions. I called a locksmith that same night and had the locks changed on our house. I texted Lauren that her belongings would be packed and waiting in the garage, and that she should coordinate a time to pick them up when I wasn't home. Her responses ranged from apologetic to angry to desperate over the following week. David, please let me come home so we can talk. You're overreacting. It didn't mean anything. I made a mistake, but 6 years should count for something. Fine. Be that way. You'll regret this. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. Please. I didn't respond to any of them. On day 3, I got a call from a number I didn't recognize. Against my better judgment, I answered. Is this David Mitchell? Who's asking? My name is Connor Briggs. I was seeing your wife. I wanted to apologize. I almost hung up, but something in his voice made me pause. Go on. I didn't know she was married. Not at first. She told me she was separated, that the divorce was almost finalized. By the time I found out the truth, I was all ready. He trailed off. Anyway, I just wanted you to know that I ended things with her. After the hotel. What she did to you was wrong, and I don't want any part of it. I processed this for a moment. You didn't know? Not until I saw that card on the cake. Your husband. That's when everything clicked. All the times she couldn't stay over, couldn't come to my place, couldn't introduce me to anyone in her life. I confronted her, and she admitted everything. I didn't know how to feel. Part of me wanted to hate this guy, but another part recognized that he'd been played too, just in a different way. Thanks for telling me, I said finally. I appreciate the honesty. For what it's worth, I really am sorry. No one deserves what she did. He hung up, and I sat there thinking about how bizarre my life had become. My wife's affair partner had just called to apologize and confirm that he was also done with her. It would have been funny if it wasn't so pathetic. But the story doesn't end there. About a week later, I was served with papers. Not divorce papers. I'd already filed those. These were different. Lauren was contesting the divorce and claiming that I had emotionally abandoned the marriage, entitling her to a larger share of our assets. I called my lawyer immediately. Can she do this? She can try, he said. But given the circumstances, her admitted affair, the hotel receipts, the timeline, I don't think any judge is going to look favorably on her claims. She's grasping at straws. What do? We document everything. Every text, every email, every piece of evidence that shows the affair was ongoing. We build an airtight case. And we let her hang herself with her own lies. That's exactly what we did. Over the following month, my lawyer compiled a comprehensive file. Location data showing Lauren at Connor's apartment dozens of times over the past 8 months. Credit card statements for hotel rooms on nights she claimed to be working late. Text messages she'd accidentally sent to me instead of him. Messages I'd dismissed at the time as meant for a girlfriend. The most damning piece of evidence came from an unexpected source. Lauren's best friend, Natasha. Natasha called me about 3 weeks after everything blew up. She sounded nervous. David, I need to tell you something. I should have told you months ago, but Lauren made me promise to keep quiet. What is it? She was planning to leave you. After your birthday. She was going to ask for a divorce and move in with Connor. The hotel that night was supposed to be like a celebration. Their anniversary. 8 months together. I felt sick. She was celebrating her affair anniversary on my birthday? I think she picked that date on purpose. Some kind of twisted symbolism about starting her new life or something. I don't know. I'm so sorry, David. I should have said something sooner. Why didn't you? Long pause. Because I was a coward. And because I didn't want to believe my best friend could be that cruel. I thank Natasha for telling me and hung up. The information was devastating, but it was also useful. Another piece of evidence for my lawyer. Another nail in Lauren's coffin. Final update: the divorce was finalized 4 months after my birthday. Lauren's attempt to contest it crumbled under the weight of evidence. The judge awarded me the house, 70% of our shared assets, and a clear conscience. Lauren moved in with her parents after Connor cut her off. Last I heard, she was working at a retail store and telling everyone who would listen that I had ruined her life. The irony of that statement is not lost on me. Connor actually reached out once more, about 2 months after everything was settled. He wanted to meet for coffee, to apologize in person. I agreed, mostly out of curiosity. He was younger than me, maybe 28, and had the look of someone who'd been through something difficult. We sat across from each other at a small cafe, 2 strangers connected by one woman's deception. I just want you to know that I really didn't know, he said. When she told me she was separated, I believed her. I feel like an idiot. You're not an idiot. You were lied to. Still, I was sleeping with a married woman for 8 months. That's not something I can just brush off. I studied him for a moment. Can I ask you something? Anything. Did she ever talk about me? Like as a person? He looked uncomfortable. She said you were distant, emotionally unavailable, that you'd stopped caring about the marriage years ago. I laughed. It was either that or cry. I spent 6 years trying to make that woman happy. I rearranged my work schedule around hers. I planned date nights every month. I did everything I could think of to be a good husband. I know that now. After everything came out, I started to see the pattern. She lies. It's what she does. She told me exactly what I needed to hear to keep me around, just like she did with you. We finished our coffee and parted ways. I don't know if I'd call us friends, but there was something almost cathartic about that conversation. Two men who had both been fooled by the same woman, both trying to make sense of it. It's been 3 months since the divorce was finalized. I'm still in the house. Our house, now my house. I've repainted the bedroom, bought new furniture, tried to exorcise the memories of my old life, and build something new. Dating feels impossible right now. I've been on a few apps, had a few conversations, but the moment things start getting serious, I feel myself pulling back. Trust doesn't come easy anymore, but I'm getting there. Slowly. My 33rd birthday is coming up in a few weeks. I've already made plans with Derek and a few other friends. Dinner at my favorite steakhouse. No hotel rooms. No location tracking. No wives who forget. Just me, the people who actually care about me, and a future I never expected but am starting to accept. Edit 1. People keep asking about the cake. Yes, it was chocolate. Yes, the hotel charged my credit card $47 for it. Best $47 I ever spent. Edit 2. For those asking about Natasha, we're not in contact anymore. She apologized for keeping Lauren's secret, and I believe she's genuinely sorry, but I can't look at her without thinking about what she knew and didn't tell me. Maybe that's unfair. I don't really care. Edit 3. Someone in the comments asked if I ever confronted Lauren directly about choosing my birthday on purpose. I didn't. By the time Natasha told me, I had already decided that Lauren wasn't worth another second of my emotional energy. Some questions don't need answers. They just need to be left behind.